Where was your clothes at that you had?
The clothes that I had.
Yeah, the clothes you wore that night that you
What do you
said.
have?
Because you said I'd been in that house and it looked like a train wreck, right? What you said to me.
Right.
I was in that house and it looked like a slaughterhouse, okay?
Right.
So you had blood on you.
Yeah.
You had blood on your clothes. Where are they at?
On October 23, 2023, around 11 p.m., the Pickaway County Sheriff's Office in Ohio received a 911 call from a concerned neighbor. The caller reported hearing someone in the adjacent lot shouting that her son was dead. Deputies responded immediately to the scene, and what they found was captured on the following body cam footage.
Blood dragging all the way down.
Okay.
Down
You want
all-
gloves?
Yep. Get them up. There. Go ahead and contact me. Phone call. Do you want to?
Let's go back here just to see if anybody's still alive.
Okay.
Can you advise if EMS is on scene?
Right, they are.
Sheriff's office, anybody in here?
Sheriff's office.
Oxygen tanks.
That's on now. That's 16 mounts.
Is there anybody else in there?
Yeah.
How many? 2 people?
2 people.
Following the discovery of the 2 deceased males, later identified as Todd Craig, 58, and Corey Moore, 35, deputies secured the residence and began processing the scene. Blood was found throughout the living room and down the hallway, where the victims were discovered lying one on top of the other. EMS confirmed both men were deceased, and the crime scene was formally established. During the investigation, a witness reported seeing 2 individuals at the residence the night before the bodies were found. One of them identified as Marty. Detectives also recovered security camera footage showing a vehicle consistent with Marty Dotson's arriving at and later leaving the scene around the estimated time of the killings. This evidence, along with the witness statements, led the investigators to identify Dotson as the primary suspect. He was located, taken into custody, and transported for questioning. During the initial interview, Dotson declined to speak with investigators, invoking his right to an attorney. The interview was promptly concluded, but shortly afterward, detectives received a message from the jail. Marty Dotson had sent a note saying he was ready to talk.
Marty? Hello, Jim. Hello.
Hi. Marty, you remember me? Sergeant Andrews?
Yep. And
Zero Brush Hog? We spoke to you yesterday and we Mirandized you and told you about having an attorney, and at one point in time, not long into us talking to you, you said you wanted to exercise your rights and have an attorney, okay? And then today when I come in, I received a request from the jail, asking to speak with us again, correct?
right.
Right. So, are you willing to do that? Is that of your own free will?
Yeah.
You put in the request.
Right. And I didn't know, or you guys want to ask me some questions, or you just want to know my side of the story?
But
Both? Okay, well, we're getting, drunk and high.
we'll just wait.
Let me, I gotta,
do all this again.
I gotta do all this again.
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
And that's, you want to follow. We want to, make sure you understand your rights, and like we explained last time.
Let's put your name on top of there. I filled out this section right here. You follow along, I'll read this to you, okay? It's, before we ask you any questions, you must understand your rights. The right side, and then second, we'll use the two law. The right follow the right, we'll ask you questions, have your question. That's right, the right side, so we're using the right, only one, you wish. You make your question out of the right, the right side is your question, not. That's the right side, so the time you follow it. You understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At the bottom where it says waiver, it says, I have read the statement of my rights shown above. I understand what my rights are. I'm willing to answer questions and make a statement. I do not want to live. At this time, I understand and know what I'm doing. No promises, threats have been made to me, and no pressure of any kind has been used against me. You agree with that?
So that's what I'm doing, is waiving my rights to an attorney if I speak.
For right
Just
now.
for this question.
Yeah, just for why we're sitting in here.
Right.
Okay, it's not, you're never gonna have an attorney or anything like that.
You waive your right to remain silent.
If you answer questions, right now without a attorney present, you can stop answering questions at any time, okay? While we're sitting here talking about this, you wanted to talk to us, okay?
Yep.
All right? You're telling me that you're okay with talking to us without having an attorney at this time right now.
Yes, sir.
No threats were made by us or promises. Anybody threaten you to talk to us or anything?
Oh.
Is it too much to ask you guys if I could get a cup of coffee? Please.
Let's see if we got some.
I already did this because I signed where you were supposed to sign.
Okay.
So you just want to sign right there for me. I apologize for that.
Right. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Okay. Well, like I said, we tried to talk to you yesterday and you wanted to, quit talking to you right, okay? So, I asked you who a fourth person was, and that's when you kind of didn't want to talk a little more. If you just want to go ahead and tell us your side of the story, you're more than welcome to do that.
Who all was there, Marty?
It was
Just name it.
Todd and Corey. The only reason, things ended up the way they did is had they not attacked me, they would still be here. What that fourth person has to do with it, and y'all haven't spoken to the fourth person.
Who's the fourth person? I can tell you if I spoke to him or not. I can't tell you I spoke to the fourth person about who it is. I spoke to a lot of people during this whole investigation. 25, probably. Tell me how they attacked you.
when I was hit in the back of the head by Todd with something, Corey was in front of me. He kept saying something about Phillips head screwdriver. But that's obviously not the way Phillips head screwdriver.
You said that Todd was, when you guys went over there to have a little get together and
Yeah.
we're drinking some whiskey.
Yep.
And then,
And smoking bullshit, right?
okay. So you guys are all hanging out?
And I don't know what made it go south. Todd started talking about going to West Virginia, and next thing you know, so you guys have been in that trailer, you've seen it look like a train wreck and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I said, what made it go south. But I was hit with something, thought somebody else was coming at me with what looked like a weapon. I think I took it, a little further, making sure somebody was dead, a little more than I needed to, but I honestly believe had I not done what I did, I wouldn't be the one sitting there, right? And that fourth person ain't got a damn thing to do with it. They, that I know of, was not a part of fighting,
So when they attacked you, what did you do?
I reacted.
Okay, tell me what you did by reacting. What did you do?
But when I was hit from behind, I turned around and grabbed Todd and threw him into Corey,
Mm-hmm.
and then stabbed the living out of both of them.
Okay. Okay. Right there? In the living room?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then what did you do?
And I let it.
Where'd you go?
Up to Columbus to try to, talk to somebody about, what do I do now, And thank God that they all come looking for me. My little cousin told me that, I stand a chance of going with self-defense, except for within the unit. I went a little too far, like I said, to kill me. I don't know if a judge will say I used, excessive force, but I never, being hit from behind and another mother with something in their hand from in front, I thought they were going to try to kill me. So
What did you use to stop me?
I don't know, Todd was a big knife, man.
Where's it at?
It was laying on the floor.
Where'd you get it?
The coffee table.
So you go up to Columbus and talk to your little cousin. What'd you do after that?
It was actually my uncle. And then I went to Dayton to talk to my little cousin the day that you guys come looking for me. I thought, I had no chance of winning the case until I told him the if you were defending yourself, you do have a chance.
So you left the night there.
Yeah.
Where was your clothes at that you had?
The clothes that I had.
Yeah, the clothes you wore that night that you
What do you
said.
have on?
Because you said I'd been in that house and it looked like a train wreck, right? What you said to me. I was in that house and it looked like a slaughterhouse, okay?
Right.
So you had blood on you.
Yeah.
You had blood on your clothes. Where are they at?
You guys have to forgive me. It's really drunk and high.
Take your time.
I don't remember change.
The clothes you, when we arrested you, was the clothes you had on the night that you stabbed these two gentlemen?
No.
How long was you in Dayton for?
6 or 8 hours.
Let's back up a little bit. What time did this all happen?
Sometime between sundown Sunday and sunup Monday. I really was not paying attention to no time.
Was it Sunday night into Monday, Saturday night into Sunday? Do you remember the day?
It was Sunday night into Monday.
Okay.
What the hell, I would have took the clothes off anywhere but outside at my house.
Was you at your house?
I went to my house. After Columbus, I went back home.
Are they at your house?
I don't know where else I would have took them off and had other clothes to put on.
Do you remember what you were wearing?
No. No, judging by the weather, probably a pair of shorts, a t-shirt. Tennis shoes. I don't recall, and that's, when you shouldn't be doing that fucked up.
So, you don't remember what they were arguing with you about or what started this?
You remember where he was sitting at in the living room?
I was sitting on the couch, Corey was sitting on the other end of the couch, and Todd was sitting here in the chair. And Todd was very belligerent, and he, had took a half of a can of Coors Light and threw it on me. I don't know what he threw at Corey. As God's my witness, 44 years on this earth, I don't ever remember watching somebody go from like hateful toward everybody to them and another person drawing that in and then going after another person for something they've not done.
So, this is Todd's house, right?
Yeah,
And how long you known Todd?
about 14 years.
Todd's a little fella, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And he's up there in age, isn't he?
About 57.
He has some health issues.
Yeah. That's why would he hit me in the back of the head with something? Why? With his size being, I can't say half handicapped, but, you know, for them to, this don't make any sense.
Was there some arguing going on before you got hit? Do you remember anything like that?
We tell him not to be, you know, throwing cans of beer at him and shit. And there was some arguing between Todd, the fourth person, and Corey about the quality of the drugs. But I had nothing to do with that.
Corey wasn't satisfied with the drugs?
Right.
Were they fake or were they ripped off? Like,
I don't know if they were given something different than I was given.
shorted?
No, it wasn't about being short. It was about the quality.
Corey was upset about that?
Yeah. I can't figure out what made it go south.
What did Corey have to do with it? It sounds like from your telling me it's between you and Tom. What did Corey have to do with it?
I don't know why he come at me. But I wasn't the one providing the drugs.
So, Corey's a little feller too, isn't he?
6 foot.
What, he's about $1.25?
Yeah.
You're a big boy.
I know that, sir. So why would them two think they could come at me and come out victorious? Liquid Giant? Yeah.
But I think if you remember what you want to remember, okay? And I think you know why you guys started fighting. And I don't know why you don't want to tell it, okay? But you remember this and you remember that, but when I ask you something that might implicate you, you don't remember. I don't buy that. I've done this for a little bit, okay? So, tell me why you got to argue. Somebody just don't come after you with something in their hand that hits you in the head, and you don't know why. You guys been there all weekend, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys been there all weekend. So, I can't sit here, Marty, and believe you when I know that you know why you don't want to tell. And if it can help you, then you better start telling. Okay? Because I'm not buying it. I'm not buying you don't know why. Something was said, something was done, you know what you was arguing about. If you was arguing over drugs, so be it. We're not the drug police. I don't care about them drugs other than the fact that it played a role in this, you know, because you guys were all high, you admitted to that.
And I don't remember arguing with them. I remember them two arguing with the fourth person.
Did you intervene with that argument? Did you take up for that fourth person?
I just said that I didn't see the problem with the product.
Todd was angry about the crack too?
He was angry about losing his brother.
Right. Todd sitting across from me in the chair.
He's like right here.
Diagonal.
Yeah.
What side is Corey on this side of you, or is Corey on that side?
On this side of me at the end of the couch.
Okay. So you're on the side of the couch closest to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they start fighting or arguing.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the fourth person go?
I don't remember. Something was said about me being in on it, and I told them, you know, they thought that was the case, you know. And that's when I stood up and we went at it.
Now this fourth person, could we vouch for you on this? Could maybe confirm what you're saying?
You were fine, sir. Now that it's all over, it's as if that fourth person orchestrated this for it to look exactly like what you guys think that it is. I'm just some, big lumbering idiot that kills people. Which is not the case at all.
I don't think you're an idiot. Okay?
Okay?
You're a big man. And you did kill some people. But in order for me and this man here to try to help you in any way, we need to know the truth. Not just bits and pieces.
But we were fucked up. I'm sorry that I don't remember where I took my clothes off.
You weren't angry until, or correct me, you weren't upset about nothing until you got hit in the head. And that made you angry.
Well, no, that when they went from arguing with her, then started, saying like I had a part in it, my anger started to grow at that point.
Todd and Corey were accusing you
Of being a part of her and on a dope,
okay.
giving, them a different quality drug than she was giving me.
Did she bring one package or 3 packages?
She had 4 or 5, brother.
4 or 5?
I don't.
Did you guys all smoke right there when she showed up together? And it was okay with you?
Yeah. And this 4th person ain't talking to you guys?
I've talked to a bunch of people.
Okay. But there
I've talked
wasn't
to
a bunch of people in that trailer, sir.
I know. You told me there were 4 people. I believe you. I think that's about the only thing truthful you're telling me other than the fact that you killed him. I think that's the only 2 truthful things you're telling me.
Do you have a statement from the 4th person?
Like he said, who's the 4th person? We've talked to multiple people.
I don't know what you guys want me to say.
We want to know what happened.
And I just told you.
You want another cup of coffee?
Huh?
You want another cup of coffee?
Sure. Get it. Thank you, sir.
You'll be right back.
All right. If you two want to come here, I remember what they started clowning on.
Okay, hang on.
Talking shit.
Right.
Then when I stood up, that's when the shit went down.
Say that again. What'd you say? He was out of the room.
And I forget which one of them mentioned it first. Like I said, Todd had come through it and have a can of beer on me and stuff. And then bitching about the dope and all that. And then, started talking about taking turns. My wife and I went on. And I think he knew at that point, the only reason he hit me in the back and just because he was behind me, you know, and whatever cord he grabbed to come at me, they, you know, like you said, they knew they had their hands full. So, but I don't know why people want to talk shit like they taking turns, you know, with my wife, or whatever. You
They know your wife?
Is that her?
Yeah, they would have had to, you know. I know because when we bought our house, Todd was next door
Okay.
in 2009.
Okay.
But, you know, even me starting to go off, I hadn't grabbed that knife if it was laying there.
What kind of knife was it?
I don't remember. Because there's like, well, you guys know, when you walk in the trailer, there's like a counter right there.
Paring knife, a steak knife, a butcher knife? I mean, you had been there for the whole weekend.
Right.
I would have thought you would have seen it laying there, whether it was on the counter or on the coffee table. I mean, I pay attention to things like that. I think we all do.
Yeah, but you're not sitting there smoking crack and drinking
You know what, I get that, yeah. You're right.
You know, I believe it was a lock blade I had asked Todd to sharpen for me. If he had told me earlier that day to check him and see, I was more worried about getting hot. You know, shit was down, I grabbed it there off the table.
Did you open it?
No, it was already open.
You know what color it was? It's your knife.
Yeah, it was pink. My favorite color, pink.
Who'd you start fighting with first?
It was Todd that hit me from behind. So I guess you would say him.
At what point did you get behind him?
Well, when they're sitting there, you know, it was like they were trying to get me to come up, the way they was talking to me. And Todd had went from behind me to in front of me, from, you know, back and forth more than once. And he hit me with something. And that's why I grabbed him and threw him into Corey, because I seen Corey had something in his hand. I don't.
Corey say anything to you? No, this?
No, once it started, no. I don't recall nothing being said.
How big was your knife?
It's just a regular, you know, rock blade.
Like 3-inch blade, 5-inch blade?
Say a 3-inch model.
I mean, long as that pin?
Yeah.
Unfolded or folded?
Unfolded, it might have been, you know, yeah.
About a 5-inch blade maybe?
No.
3-inch blade maybe?
Yeah, I'd say 3-inch blade.
What'd you do with that knife?
It's laying there somewhere.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It ain't laying.
No, it is not.
Okay.
I would have it. I probably would have showed it to you by now. But I have it. I don't have it. I want it. I want you to tell me where you put it.
I will talk to the person who gave me a ride to Columbus. Okay. About the clothes and because as I recall, I took the clothes off back home.
Now, you said you went to Columbus and you went to your cousin's or your uncle's house?
Yeah.
Which one? Both of them? Okay. Who's your uncle?
Tom.
Where's he live at? And then you said you went over to Dayton, right?
No, I went back home and
Okay.
went to Dayton.
Okay. What'd you go to Dayton to do?
I was contemplating heading to Mexico because I had forgot that I might have a chance. You know, if somebody attacks me, I have the right to defend myself. It ain't the old I need to retreat and seek cover and call law enforcement like it used to be.
I think you've always been allowed to defend yourself.
I thought the wine was changing all kinds of stuff because the prisons are busting at the seams full of people. But making the law more lenient, I don't think is the answer.
Where did you go to in Dayton?
To my cousin's house. I don't really know Dayton. You guys have my phone, right? You can, look at a text from my cousin Joe's.
Joe's.
Yeah.
Who gave you a right diplomacy?
I'm sure they told you up to this point.
No, nobody has told me they had given you a right diplomacy. I can promise you that. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I can promise you that. Nobody has told me they've given you a right diplomacy.
Yeah, nobody told you that.
No, sir.
I don't have any more details to give you about it. Sorry.
Did you go straight home or straight to Columbus
From
after what happened?
Columbus.
Okay.
Contact got there, went back home.
We, Okay. So right now, Marty, we have a search warrant to obtain your DNA. Okay. And you can have this copy.
Okay.
And this is the only thing that's like TV. Yeah, actually, we just put it in your mouth and
Just wet your mouth for me.
funny cough in there.
It's just a saliva swab. Okay. You would just open, brush the inside of your cheek here, go down around here, this side.
And what do you know about the prisons in Ohio? I'm asking you because it's looking like I'm going to one of them.
I guess, I'm not sure what you're asking.
Which one would you go to?
I want to
Do
know.
we get to choose which one we go to?
I don't believe so.
And go to wherever the hell they send us, right?
That's something maybe you can ask, your attorney, stuff like that.
That's looking like one. Yes. We'll go there and get what you paid for. And the point is, once it's check signed by the same people, y'all's check is signed by, really, are they on your side of the
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all for that. I'll be right back.
In his second interview, Marty Dotson admitted to stabbing both Todd Craig and Corey Moore, but claimed he acted in self-defense. Despite his assertion, the evidence, including the nature of the wounds and the crime scene, did not support his claim. Dotson was charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of kidnapping. In April 2024, he was convicted of 1 count of murder and 1 count of voluntary manslaughter. The court sentenced him to 26 years to life in prison, the maximum penalty for his crimes.